Hello Group 1, welcome to your reading. First, let's take a look at your current energy. The cards you got are Six of Swords and the Tower. We also have the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Right away, something interesting shows up. Your indicator image was a sunken ship, and the Six of Swords also features a boat. A meaningful coincidence. The Ace of Pentacles tells me, right now, your focus is on a brand new beginning. You've planted the seed of hope with your own hands. It could be a contract, an investment, a new project, or a fresh life plan taking shape. The Six of Swords is all about a movement, a journey, a shifting energy. This card shows me that you've already started taking action, or at least you believe you've reached clarity about something. But here's the subtle message. Although the boat is moving forward, it's not a person steering it. It's being driven by the energy of the swords. And the swords represent opinions, logic, thoughts. So even though you are moving forward, it feels like the voices of the outside world are still influencing your direction. The tricky thing is, this influence is hard to notice. It can quietly pull your attention away, blur your focus, or push you toward compromise, especially when your own energy is low. And this is why the Tower appears. The Tower shows up like a necessary alarm bell. A sudden wake-up call, right when your mind starts drifting. Maybe recently you've experienced some disruptions or unexpected events, whether you choose them or they just happened. Of course, the Tower could also point to a sudden realization, just like this reading. But all of this is helping you reset your compass, realign your direction, and regain control of your life, so you are no longer driven by external noise. Next, let's see what type of adventure is calling you. Your cards are Strength and a Wheel. We also have the Nine of Wands at the bottom. The Nine of Wands is a great sign. It shows that you've already sensed something was off in your life. Your guard is up now, and your awareness is sharpening. If the Six of Swords earlier shows a sense of drifting or mental fog, Strength now shows you taking a wheel back and steering your life consciously again. Every person has an inner animal nature. This is the part of us that reacts, gets influenced, or gets tamed by the road. The combination of Strength and the Nine of Wands shows that you are starting to recognize these parts of yourself, and you are giving them names. You are beginning a true process of self-taming. You are observing your own traits, learning what triggers them, how they show up, and how they affect your life. And the first step to taming yourself is understanding yourself. When you truly know and accept every part of who you are, you no longer waste energy proving yourself, seeking external approval, or justify your action. And once you've tamed yourself, no one out there can control you anymore. No one can manipulate you. No one can trick you. The Wheel shows that once you reclaim your power, your life rises to a new level. Things start to move smoothly. You know which parts of yourself shine in which moments, when to act, when to rest, when to firm, and when to soften. Your life becomes both fulfilling and relaxed. Full because you move toward your goals, and relaxed because the pace is entirely yours. Through those cards, I feel like this adventure is a soul level upgrade. You rediscover your inner wholeness and strength. And in the physical world, I also see you achieving something you previously struggled with. It may look like you suddenly figure out, but Strength tells me that this comes from your discipline and inner loyalty. Now let's look at a challenge you must face in order to level up. We have King of Wands and the Devil. We also have the Ten of Cups at the bottom. Okay, the message here is, you need to face yourself honestly. When things get difficult, do you still try to show everyone that you are fine, as if nothing affects you? On a soul level, that isn't strength, it's avoidance and numbness. True strength isn't pretending nothing hurts. If you ignore your pain, you become vulnerable to being controlled or influenced by the outside world. The Ten of Cups tells me, emotional fulfillment and inner abundance are your true nature. But right now, this part of you is being covered by unhealthy inner or outer influences. The King of Wands shows me that you will recognize and tame your impulses and reclaim your leadership. This version of strength is clear and honest. You may need to realign your goals and motivations. Ask yourself, am I pursuing this because it satisfies my ego or because it answers a higher calling? Interestingly, you might discover that your goal hasn't changed, but after realigning your motivation, you naturally filter out everything that doesn't resonate. Like the devil card shows, temptations often come beautifully packaged. But because you stand in truth, your gaze won't waver, your actions won't distort, and your heart won't hesitate. Those distractions can hide in front of you, and you don't even need to resist them because you don't respond to them at all. And finally, let's see what you get after this level up. The cards we have here are Page of Swords and Ace of Swords. We also have Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck. From the Six of Cups, I feel deep acceptance and healing. And I'm really happy to see that this reading begins with sword energy and ends with sword energy, a full circle of clarity. The Page of Swords shows the start of a new way of thinking. After you level up, I see you stepping into learning a new field, maybe something niche, challenging, or requiring specific skills. And this path will require both creativity and a structure. And the Ace of Swords represents the upgrade itself. Seeing it here is incredibly powerful. From Page of Swords to Ace of Swords, in the physical world, this could be an official achievement, such as publishing your work, completing a study, validating your research, reaching a major goal, or receiving formal recognition. But more importantly, during this process, you achieve your original goal with pure and aligned motivation. The Ace of Swords proves your goal was never wrong. You never needed to change it. What needed to shift was your motivation. And once it becomes pure, the confusion, self-doubt, and the fear of being on the wrong path disappear. Six of Cups tells me that you eventually become the adult your younger self once admired. Yes, you may drift off course at times during self-exploration, but you get back on track. And you'll realize with gratitude that you didn't lose anything important, and your life didn't miss out on anything meant for you. The oracle card we have here is Offerings. This card says that to the universe, you yourself are a gift. Your existence is something the world is grateful for. It also invites you to practice gratitude, even in challenging environment. Gratitude is what protects you, what sustains you, and what keeps you moving forward. Your gratitude will attract more supportive people and opportunities into your life. This is a deeply meaningful reading. Love that. Blessings to everyone who chose Group 1, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello Group 2, welcome to your reading. First, let's take a look at your current energy. Your cards are the Fool and the Three of Cups. We also have the Empress at the bottom of the deck. This is really good. Your current energy is bright, fresh, and naturally abundant. My first impression is that you have strong creative power, and this creativity shows up in many different areas of your life. You receive inspiration easily, and you express it in multiple forms. You might even have several hobbies or creative outlets. The Fool tells me you carry a simple, pure life force. Your lifestyle may also be simple, without complicated relationships draining your energy. And that explains why inspiration flows so freely to you, because there's no clutter in your mind. The Three of Cups shows that you are surrounded by supportive energy, and you, yourself, enjoy supporting others. The people who naturally connect with you tend to be those who share your enthusiasm for life. People who view the world with warmth, joy, and maybe even a touch of romantic idealism. And that's why your daily life tends to be filled with beautiful experiences and meaningful connections. The Empress confirms your abundance. Even if you feel unsure about your current material situation, the cards want you to know you are abundant and you will not lack. And because of the Empress is the energy of gestation and creation, you may already sense that you are capable of even more abundance, not just financially, but in relationships, knowledge, inspiration, and spiritual richness. And you are right. You can have more. These new layers of abundance will manifest through the things you create. Maybe you are hoping for a wider social circle, more freedom, a deeper sense of belonging, or a community where everyone shows up sincerely and nourishes one another. These three cards say, yes, you will have this. Next, let's see what kind of adventure is calling you. The cards we have here are the High Priestess, an amazing Sun card. And more amazingly, we have the Empress again at the bottom of the deck. You are going to love the adventure ahead. I can generally feel that this might be something you have fantasized about many times already. The Sun, appearing right after the High Priestess, feels like a long-awaited reveal, a moment where everything hidden finally comes to light. The Empress again shows your creativity coming into full bloom. This is a transition from behind the scenes to center stage, from being unnoticed to shining brightly. If you currently have a project, a piece of work, a creative portfolio, or anything you can publish or share publicly, this card wants you to know, yes, you will receive big recognition. Your creativity will bring you abundance, support, and admiration. I also sense that some of you may be welcoming a new life, literally. For some, it may come as a surprise. For others, it's a long-awaited blessing. Either way, the arrival of this new life is a pure expression of love. And of course, whether you are releasing work into the world or becoming a parent, your new adventure is about identity shift, and this brings new responsibility. But it's a joyful adventure, a deeply fulfilling one. This new life can also represent your inner child. You will navigate life through both a childlike sense of wonder and a mother-like sense of care, which makes your experience of life richer and more balanced. And for those who have been feeling creatively blocked, drained, or unclear about certain matters, expect clarity. You'll regain your spark, your passion, and your drive. Your next adventure is full of sweetness and joy. Some of you may even move to a new location. Now, let's look at a challenge you must face to level up. We have the Moon card in reverse, in the Ten of Pentacles. We also have the Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Earlier, I mentioned that you view your life through a soft, romantic filter. That aligns perfectly with the Seven of Cups. This is a card of imagination, dreams, and fantasy. On the positive side, your imagination is powerful. If your work requires creativity, you thrive. But the challenge is this. Sometimes you struggle to tell the difference between reality and fantasy, and when the truth doesn't match the mental image you created, disappointment hits hard. The Moon in reverse asks you to illuminate the fears and uncertainties buried in your subconscious. You are highly intuitive and sensitive, so when things feel unclear, it's often because you are choosing to ignore something your intuition already noticed. You may even experience physical sensations like tightness in the chest or difficulty breathing. That's your intuition trying to warn you of something you are refusing to see. Ignoring what scares you feels like sinking deeper in water, exactly like the image in this card. If you find yourself repeatedly seeking tarot readings for the same question, the Moon in reverse warns you that you are no longer seeking intuition guidance. You are feeding your fear. You need to rise above the water, enter the moonlight, see what frightens you, and name it. And regain control. Even if the wall from the shore looks intimidating, the moment you acknowledge it, you regain your power. You can then decide how to respond. The Ten of Pentacles shows another pattern. Sometimes you use your imagination to only focus on the beautiful parts of life, or in extreme cases, force yourself to believe everything is fine, even when it isn't. This can look like emotional strength on the outside, but it's actually emotional avoidance inside. When you pretend you're okay even when you're not, people around you can pick up your energy. They sense something isn't right. But when you insist everything is perfect, it makes you seem distant or insincere. Even though I know you are not trying to deceive anyone, you are simply trying to deceive yourself, because facing your fears feels overwhelming and intimidating. The message here is strong, and I know it may be uncomfortable, but the good news is, your earlier cards were extremely positive. Let those energies support you as you listen to this warning, because the moment you allow your hidden fears to rise into awareness, you stop living according to fear and start living according to intuition. You break through the fog and step into clarity. Finally, let's look at the rewards after you level up. We have the Hangman in reverse and the Three of Pentacles. We also have the Justice as the underlying card. This is wonderful energy. Justice shows that you will restore balance in areas of life that have become skewed or distorted. You stop romanticizing or idealizing things that are clearly out of balance, and instead see them with clarity and fairness. The Hangman in reverse is an amazing sign. It shows that you break free from illusions, regain movement, and reclaim your freedom. I love seeing the journey from the Fool to the reversed Hangman. The Fool's freedom is innocent and a bit naive, while the Hangman in reverse shows freedom with depth, a wisdom-earned kind of freedom. Sometimes imagination becomes a prison, especially when we can't step out of it. But you will pierce through these fantasies and learn to find peace and freedom in the imperfect reality of life. The shift from Three of Cups to the Three of Pentacles is also beautiful. A strong connection isn't built on dreamy optimism alone, believing everything will magically be fine. It's built on collaboration, honesty, and a willingness to work through imperfections together. Three of Cups is a joyful celebration, but Three of Pentacles is real teamwork. Here's real interaction, real presence, and real growth. And remember, the Empress appeared twice. What you're manifesting may very well be a genuine, grounded, heartfelt relationship. Something real, something true. Your oracle card is Our Medicine. It aligns beautifully with this reading. This card says you embody wisdom. You have a natural calling toward truth. Your imagination is a powerful creative tool, but real fulfillment comes from interacting with the imperfect, yet authentic world around you. This is a beautiful reading. Blessings to everyone who chose Group 2. I'll see you in the next reading. Hello Group 3, welcome to your reading. First, let's take a look at your current situation. The cards are Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. We also have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is a really beautiful energy. It feels joyful, light, and quietly abundant. With the Ace of Cups here, I sense that there is something or someone you're truly interested in right now. Something that's tugging you at your heart and inspiring you to move forward. The Nine of Pentacles shows an independent, fulfilled state. You've been humble, diligent, and grounded, and both your financial situation and your physical well-being seem to be in a very good place. Life feels stable, manageable, and under your control, and that gives you confidence and a sense of safety. And maybe because everything is finally flowing smoothly, you're starting to feel ready to explore something new. The Page of Pentacles tells me that this new venture won't disrupt your current life, but it will ask you to step a little bit outside your comfort zone, especially if you are used to a predictable routine. This new beginning might feel unfamiliar or slightly unsettling at first. It might even require you to adjust your schedule. But combined with the Ace of Cups, this new direction is coming straight from your heart. Yes, it feels unfamiliar, but it's also exciting, refreshing, and full of pleasure. For some of you, this could be a new job opportunity, a new hobby or skill, or even a new relationship. Some of you may be stepping into a more independent lifestyle, gaining more personal space, and learning new forms of self-love. Next, let's look at a kind of adventure that's calling you. The cards are Queen of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, with the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Like we mentioned earlier, you might be entering a stage of life where you have more space to enjoy your personal world. I sense that you'll be learning in a very safe and a comfortable environment how to move from emotional collapse to emotional self-rescue. Even though you are safe and everything around you is stable, this new inner journey may feel uncomfortable or even triggering at first. It's like learning to swim. You need to learn how to hold your breath underwater, how to come up for air, how to stay in water without panicking. And none of that feels natural when you are used to the solid ground beneath your feet. The Queen of Cups shows you're exploring your emotional needs. You're starting to understand that satisfaction must leave room to breathe. It cannot be all or nothing. You're learning how to meet your own emotional needs within your comfort zone instead of depending on external extremes. The Five of Pentacles doesn't mean financial hardship here. Instead, it feels like an emotional loneliness at the beginning of your exploration, as if no one can guide you on how to properly care for your inner world. This card also reflects emotional immaturity, not in a negative sense, but simply showing that your emotional toolkit is still developing. This immaturity can appear as emotional outbursts or, on the opposite extreme, emotional detachment. What's interesting is that you have two queens present. The Queen of Swords is in cold or unfeeling. The Queen of Cups is in drowning in emotion. Together, the three cards are showing that your next adventure is about learning how to meet your own emotional needs in a healthy way. A journey of inner healing, balancing logic with emotion, and stepping into true emotional maturity. You are learning how to care without losing boundaries, how to ask for help without dependency. No matter your gender, this is a journey of healing your divine feminine energy. Some of you may even seek therapy or counseling during this process. Now let's see what challenge you need to face in order to level up. The cards we have here are Seven of Cups in reverse and the Six of Pentacles. We also have the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Group 3, the healing energy here is very strong. The Seven of Cups in reverse tells me you need to stop spinning endless mental scenarios in your mind, especially if you tend toward pessimism. This is crucial when it comes to the development of relationships or personal matters. You may be pre-writing multiple storylines in your head, and this blocks natural growth. It can also lead to overthinking and emotional exhaustion. The movement from the Seven of Cups to the King of Cups is incredibly powerful. It shows emotional mastery, the ability to recognize your own emotional state clearly and handle it with wisdom. These two cards together almost feel like a message from Spirit. When your mind starts spiraling into imaginary storylines again, say cut, literally say it out loud, or clap your hands, or tap the table. This puts your emotional energy back into your body. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So when you withdraw your attention, you regain your power. The Six of Pentacles makes me so happy to see because it's the solution to Five of Pentacles. It's about trusting yourself enough to seek help when needed and trusting others enough to receive support. This is the shift from I'm not good enough to I deserve balanced exchanges. Whether you are the one giving or receiving, what you gain is positive feedback, not necessarily in results, but in the attitude and energy behind the exchange. So even a rejection can also be a positive feedback. Finally, let's look at your reward after this leveling up. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Star card. And we have the King of Cups appearing once again at the bottom of the deck. Energy here is beautiful. First, I sense a huge increase in positive reinforcement in your life. The progression from the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles tells me that as your confidence and sense of security grow, your willingness to take action will naturally expand too. The Knight of Pentacles together with the Star tells a story of journeying out into the world. Some of you may literally move to a new place, start a new lifestyle, or venture into a new field. The Star shows that this new path is unconventional. You'll be learning as you go, exploring freely, creating your own rhythm. And the Knight of Pentacles as a feeling of ease, calm exploration, and a quiet confidence. This adventure feels gentle and soulful, not rushed, not pressured. The Star's feedback isn't as shiny as the sun, nor as dreamy as moon. Instead, it's scattered like tiny lights, warm, delicate, nostalgic. Little by little, you receive signs that you are on the right path. And with the King of Cups showing up again, I see you reaching emotional maturity. You'll be able to dive deeply into your emotional world with softness and patience, yet hold a very clear boundary at the same time. Maybe you allow yourself to frustrate for 20 minutes and then call yourself back. Or maybe you allow emotional exhaustion processing only during a walk, and when the walk ends, you return to center. You are connected to your emotions, but not consumed by them. You are open to others, but not dependent on them. The star also highlights your uniqueness. Combined with the King of Cups, if someone understands you, you welcome that connection with gratitude. If someone doesn't understand you, you won't force it. You simply continue on your path, steady like the Knight of Pentacles. It's a calm, radiant, emotionally rich energy, truly beautiful. On a material level, you slowly start sharing your inner world with the outside world. For some, this may even mean becoming a public figure or start a social media account. Though not in a loud, sun-like way, and not in a dreamy, moon-like way, but in a quiet, star-like way. Maybe niche, maybe different, but full of hope. You may meet companions with similar life experiences. You may not work in the same field, but there will be a deep sense of mutual recognition and a blessing. It's a very healing and romantic energy. Your oracle card is Sacred Mountain. This card signals a period of solo exploration, a time when higher wisdom flows into your life. When changes appear, simply observe. Don't rush to react. In meditation, imagine yourself as an ancient, sacred mountain, witnessing seasons change, eras shift, and everything come and go in peace. Blessings to the friends who chose Group 3. I'll see you in the next reading.